Khuddam brothers from watching all across Canada, watching from all across the globe. Welcome to day 2 of the annual National Khuddam Ijtima here at the Beth al-Islam complex. I'm joined here with my brother Anas Bhatt Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalam, Anas Sahib. How are you doing today?
Good, alhamdulillah. We just, listened to an incredible speech by Amir Saab, and before that we had the flag hoisting, also done by respected Amir Saab for the opening of the Atfal Ijtima. And they came in and we listened to an incredible tilawat, which was all done by the tifl, by the way. Tilawat, the translation, the nazm, and it was just amazing seeing the Atfal go up with so much energy and so much joy doing those opening session program.
Truly, the passion was parallel to that of the Khuddam. My favorite part was when respected Sahib led them in pledge, and you could just feel the passion, the exuberance exude from the marquee while we were in there conducting the session. So, Bhatt Sahib, let me ask you, what did you find of Amir Saab's speech?
Amir Saab's speech came in such a timely moment. We have so much trouble within the youth nowadays where they're struggling to figure out their purpose and how to be happy. And Amir Saab explained it beautifully. He said, to be happy, we have to build and have a relationship with Allah Ta'ala. We should be friends with Allah Ta'ala. We should make Him our best friend, right? And he gave this example where he said, to be grateful. And to be grateful, we need to look at situations with a positive mindset. And he had this glass on stage. I'm sure you saw he had a glass where he was drinking water from. And the glass was, in our eyes, half empty because, we wanted to fill it for him. But he looked at it as half full. And that was absolutely incredible. And that's exactly the outlook that, he wants the tifl to have as well.
That's exactly the outlook that we need to have. The whole theme of this Ijtima is establishing a relationship with Allah, ta'alluq billah. So in order to do so, we need to change our perspective on how we view things. And that's a way to start. It started actually yesterday when Azhar Hanif Sahib gave us the challenge to turn off our phones, which I'm sure many of my Khuddam brothers at the Ijtima are also partaking in, as is some of our hosting team. But that is the sentiment that we need to have. Well, Maulana Mubarak Nazir Sahib used to say that these Ijtimaat need to serve as a spiritual U-turn. Yeah. You need to use these Ijtimaat as a way to reevaluate yourself. And if you haven't turned yourself around, or if you haven't improved yourself after these 3 days, then they truly have been a waste. So it's a prime opportunity to take advantage and look back and reflect. And as you and I look back on day 1, what a day it was.
What an absolutely incredible day. Started with, again, the flag hoisting for the Khuddam Ijtima, and then we had Tilawat and Nazm, and then an incredible message from Hazur, Aizat Allah bin Nasir Aziz, followed by an amazing speech by Azhar Hanif Sahib, respected Azhar Hanif Sahib, and he said that, we don't have to wait. We always look at the first revelation that was revealed to the Holy Prophet ﷺ was at, at the age of 40, but he said we don't have to wait until that long. We need to remember that he was always a pious human being, and it started at the age of 4 for him, right? And we can start at an earlier age. We don't have to wait that long. That was the sentiment that I got from his speech.
And truly cherishing these days. I probably will never forget saying how this gathering, it isn't normal in the Western world. Maybe in a few select jamaats in Germany, the UK, but a gathering of youth of this size, leaving the world behind just to remember God. We cannot take these 3 days for granted. And then what an opening day it was. It was followed by the Tilawat-e-Quran competition, which was amazing. We heard some beautiful recitation of the Holy Quran, some beautiful qira'ats on full display. Some members of our team also participated, and it was magnificent to see them on the stage. Anas Bhatt Sahib, what did you find of your studio segments?
We had so many great studio segments. We learned how things were set up for the Atfal Ijtima, for the Khuddam Ijtima, how long everything took, and the detail that they take with every step of the way, and how Sadr Saab has a hand in everything. Extremely detail oriented. And then we had an incredible Q&A session with Murabbi Umair Khan Saab, and then also an amazing session with Murabbi Naveed Mangla Saab. Yeah. And just incredibly heartfelt moments with them. Where they were just sharing their knowledge with us, and alhamdulillah, we have a great studio segments today as well, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's not only to mention that, I like how you brought up Umair Khan Saab segment. Alhamdulillah, all 3 days we will inshallah be having Ask Murabi segments where our viewers from home or the Khuddam attending the Ijtima can anonymously send in their questions and have them answered live on air. So truly that is a blessing. But then the way the day just crescendoed into the bonfire session, and Khuddam shared their stories of not only acceptance of prayer, but the most moving and heartfelt stories were that of the Shuhada. How Khuddam came forward and presented their stories of their fathers, their brothers being martyred in the way for the sake of Allah, right? Truly, and just us remembering them brings light a verse of the Holy Quran. Nay, they are not dead, but they are living. Their memory lives on, their deeds live on. And what Azhar Hanif Saab said there is that, they could have kept on living and they would have earned the same thing. They would have earned more and more and more. But in the eyes of Allah, their deeds were enough to be accepted. It truly was a remarkable session. And my dear brothers, today we have so much more of that lined up. Anas, why don't you give us a rundown of what we have planned for the rest of the day?
So, today the days, like yesterday after the bonfire session, Sadr Saab mentioned that he wants to see the masjid full at the Hajj and Fajr prayers. In all his time, he hasn't seen it full at the Hajj. At Fajr, it gets full, but the Hajj, he wanted to see it. But Alhamdulillah, we had a lot of people there for the Hajj and Fajr today. And, that just shows that, people are ready to start the day off on the right foot, with the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. And
yeah, the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala will continue to going on. Because after this, let me just give you a quick preview of what we have lined up for day 2, specifically in the studio. In the Ijtima, we have educational competitions going on right now, English speech, and then followed by Urdu speech, and then French speech. And then after that, we're going to have our Hifz Hadith, Hifz Adiyya competitions in the main marquee. But right now, the sports finals are currently going on. And I have received word that by the grace of Allah Almighty, Muqami too have won the basketball competition. So, Bahut Mubarak ho to all the Muqami Khuddam, to the team members there for winning the basketball competition. But the action will continue today. Volleyball continues, ball hockey continues, Strongest Khadim continues, and the coveted cricket tournament continues. In studio, we have so many amazing segments lined up for you. Coming up next will be Anas Bhatt Saab talking to respected Sadr Saab and respected Nazmi Allah Saab about Taluk Billah and the blessings of Khilafat. After that, we have special Tarbiti segments lined up for our Khuddam brothers watching at home, namely the significance of marriage, which I think needs to be reiterated today in these days, right? And then a very special segment called And When the Nation Gathers, how this Ijtima comes together and how the publicity is done. And then I think afterwards we're going to be taking a deep dive into the activities of the Ijtima, because there is so much to do here that we could honestly spend the entire day just talking about that, bringing our Nazmeen in. But we've got a very special segment. We've got more and more field reports for you. So my dear brothers, please stay tuned. So if you've missed yesterday's session or yesterday at the Ijtima, please do not worry. Our brothers here at MKAC Studios have got you covered. So please stay with us. We will be right back. But in the meantime, enjoy the highlights from day 1 of the National Ijtima. We will be right back.